Okay, good morning everybody. Today's date is the 13th of October 2015. And let me get this video camera situated. I'm going to probably talk a little fast in this video because I'm a little short on time. If anybody comes to this area that I came to go through my duffel bag while I'm making this video, no matter what they say, within 300 feet of me, it will be direct. Hold on. It will be directly connected to what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, it's almost 9 o'clock, so I gotta kind of hurry up. This is an update video, and I kind of don't. I have my thoughts pretty much collected, but so much is going on. I don't know what subject matter to talk about first. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and go with what I was initially thinking about. As a result of me being a continued organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual in San Diego, California, it is literally impossible to get any type of uncorrupted legal assistance or law enforcement assistance. In fact, the research that I have done and continue to do on the internet, from journalists, independent journalists, bloggers, fellow targeted individuals, and other individuals who have investigated this crime and have chimed in on the online concerning what they think about this crime. They're all saying the pretty much same thing, that as a result of targets being a target of this crime, they are put in what is known as like a parallel justice system. I'll explain that somewhat in a second. Just bear with me. Now, targeted individuals are blacklisted from uncorrupted medical assistance, uncorrupted legal assistance, uncorrupted law enforcement assistance, and we are also blacklisted from employment if we're able to work. So basically what I'm saying is that as a result of being a targeted individual, there seems to be a parallel type of system that is set up for us. In other words, our constitutional rights, our civil rights. We have the federal constitution, we have the federal bill, we have the Bill of Rights, and then every state and county has their own state constitution that protects its own citizens. It doesn't matter where you're from, what state, county, city, or town in the United States. It doesn't matter, because this is a campaign that is perpetrated by criminal rats that are at the federal level. Now, this type of campaign, the way it is brought about, is that the federal influence, it extremely appears that the federal influence has encroached on each state's constitution. Me being California, that would be the California Constitution. But as a result of them perpetrating their criminal realities covertly, using the system to do it, you can't prove any of it. Now, as a result of being a target of this crime and the extreme criminalities that occur towards us organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individuals, you are very lucky if you end up with any kind of evidence, because once you get evidence, audio evidence, video evidence, even possibly you might luck out and get an eyewitness to something that's happening to you, it doesn't matter. Because, for one, think about this. Think about it this way. The state, the county, the cities, and the towns. Hold on. Even if any type of person that has any type of law enforcement powers admits right to your face, in your physical presence, caught on video, that they are in your physical presence as a result of retaliation for your whistleblowing. I literally caught a San Diego Park Ranger flat out openly admit right on video that he came in my physical presence as a result of retaliation for me tweeting San Diego Police Chief Zimmerman evidence of me being gang stalked. That occurred on 8/8/2015 in reference to when the tweet was sent to her, and then the very next day, 22 hours later, they came to Rose Canyon and gave me a ticket for illegal lodging. As I was talking to this park ranger, one of two, he flat out openly admitted right on video that it was because of retaliation. So how did they know where I was at? Now, when you catch something like this on video, and then you go to the arraignment pertaining to the ticket, and you ask for a trial, and was I subject to any organized stalking, gang stalking activities right in the courtroom? I haven't had the chance yet to upload any evidence concerning that, and if I'm arrested or put in jail as a result of being found guilty during the trial, they could erase any evidence that I caught before it can be uploaded, because my schedule right now is extremely congested. The point being is this as well. The state, county, city, and if you're in a town, governments, who are the ones who pick the juries? The jury members, if you go to trial for anything. Who are the ones? Now let me give you a tidbit of information. It's actually more than a tidbit. Right now in my physical possession, I have over 1,000 audio files of individuals getting around all my routes every single day and saying the following words, usually in the same exact identical way. They are as follows: gang stalk, gang stalking, gang stalker, oh my god, weird, crazy, suck my dick. Excuse my descriptive language, but I'm going to just flat out be openly descriptive concerning what is being said around me. Lately, like in the past week and a half, they're barely saying gang stalk now, but they are saying suck my dick. And they're even using women for it. Now, the reason why they do this, you can go to Google and type in gang stalking, organized stalking, repeating words and phrases, sensitization methods, and or repeating physical gestures, and or sounds, and or reintroducing colors that they might have you sensitized to. Hold on a second, I'm booting up this phone so I can play some audio evidence in this video so you can factually see that I'm being gang stalked. Now, as I previously stated, it's their intentional way to mentally let you know that this campaign is happening to you. It's done to intentionally mentally remind you about it. It's done to keep you in a constant neural mental loop as a result of how often you see or hear what you've been sensitized to. And I've discussed this in hundreds of my videos. And some of the reasons why I regurgitate it in my current videos is because, well, the subject matter that I'm talking about, it needs to be included because the same exact harassment I'm experiencing still every day. Now, ever since I'd say the past 2.5 weeks, they have been propping people up along my routes, and they'll say suck my dick, and then one in the background might say gang stalk, and that's done to intentionally mentally let me know that suck my dick is being said because of gang stalking. Now, once they have you sensitized to that phrase, they will then not say gang stalk anymore, because they know that you know that suck my dick has been brought on board in reference to it being said around you concerning you because of gang stalking, because it's already been associated to the gang stalking because gang stalk was said while suck my dick was said. Once they believe that mental association is formed, they will stop saying the gang stalking and then just say suck my dick. So you can go to Google and research extensively. Excuse my language, I honestly don't like using that word, but I think it's important for you to see the vile bullshit that I'm putting up with mentally along my routes. See, let me give you also another tidbit of information. Whenever we are doing something, say if you go to a park, a beach, even driving your car, I'll explain that a little bit too as well. Just bear with me, you'll understand what I mean in a minute. Whenever we are in our environment, like in a restaurant, movie theater, on a bus, at a bus stop, in a grocery store, okay, your brain has innately shifted to a right brain mode, the right hemisphere. Bear with me, you'll completely understand this as I continue to talk, okay? And what the right brain hemisphere functions are is to absorb what's going on around you. It's called unconscious awareness. Now, you can go to Google and YouTube, or you can go to Google and type in the title of this book called The Right Brain and the Unconscious. You can probably buy it for $2 or $3 offline. And it literally talks about all of the right brain capabilities of your brain. Now, there is a massive amount of targeted individuals that are all over the internet that have titled their blogs and YouTube videos "Gang Stalking Psychological Operations," because the individuals at the federal, state, and local level who work together as a syndicate, because that's basically what it is nothing but a syndicate. They are basically attached to doctors, okay, psychiatrists, psychologists. They are the ones who develop the psychological operations of this criminal expedition. Hold on a second, because I gotta sign into my Instagram account, because I cleaned the cache memory, and once you do that, you have to re-sign back in. Hold on one second, okay? Okay. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because they know how the brain operates. Because think about it this way: why would there is additional reasons why they're doing this? Okay, because there's an extremely high probability that the individuals that they're using to harass a target, mostly I'd say at least 96%, are duped citizens who have been lied to about the target. They are then told where the target's at in real time, and then they are told to be at certain places in order to engage in these expeditions, and most of them don't even know that other people, okay, are doing this to them, except that they decide to use, like, say, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people in a group fashion who might go to a place where a target's at and then split up a little bit and then engage in their harassment together. One will say, "Oh my God," another one will stand over here and say, "Gang stalk." Now those people, most of them still don't even know the entire things that are going on against the target, but it's made to make the target believe that it's a big gang that's doing this to them. And the criminals that are perpetrating this criminal realities are also the responsible party for naming this crime, because that was done in order to confuse the public about what's really going on concerning who's doing this. Gangs. It's not gangs, but they want you to believe that it is gangs. Basically what it is organized harassment achieved through the covert surveillance of a target. Okay, stalking is involved, okay, but they do it in order to gang up on you, to harass you, overtly and at times directly. And they will use anybody and everybody that they can. The business community, university personnel and students, any business, they can corporations are also responsible for implementing gang stalking. But let me get back to one of the reasons why that it's not just done, the harassment that's set around a target for a target to experience, okay? It's done to protect the individuals they're using, okay? That's why it's propped up somewhat from a distance around the target. That way that they make sure that they mostly don't have no physical interactions with the target, because they don't know what the target could approach them and say, "Do you know that you're involved in gang stalking, and gang stalking is directly connected to human trafficking?" Then they would know too much, and they would discover the truth that they've been used. But another main reason why this is actually factually done around the target is because they're literally attempting to affect the brain, the right brain. Because whatever we hear or see in our environment through our senses, our sight, we see them do it, the physical gestures, the laughing as they're doing it, the mocking, the intentional distant mocking as they're doing it, the vile things that are said as they're doing it. The whole goal is to have the brain absorb the abuse. Because whenever you are doing anything where you're not really critically thinking about what you got to be doing, like if you're at work, you're thinking about what you got to do and then you do it, okay? Or if you go to a grocery store, yeah, you might think about what you got to get, but as you're walking through the aisles, sure, you got spaghetti on your mind, but your brain is still absorbing what's going on around it through your right brain hemisphere, your unconscious awareness. Hold on. And this is in part what they're literally, the persons who are propping all this up, that's their intention. Part of their intention is to go after the mental psyche of a target through abuse as a result of the types of things that are being said around a target. It's all about victimization, abuse, going after the general psychology of a target, the personal psychology of a target, in reference to how they are, their personality. Like, think about this. How would you feel if your daughter experienced 50 people in one day getting around them along all of her routes and saying, "Suck my dick," while she intentionally knows that it's intentionally being done? She's gonna feel affected, and that is the goal. That is part of the goal. They will also gaslight you about it about it actually happening by trying to attempt to call you crazy concerning it. Let me give you another case in point about gaslighting. I was in a law library, I think the last 2 times I was there, and the security guard there is he's a jerk. He's a punk. He's an adult punk, is what he is. Now, his little skanky ass, okay, every time you go into the law library and you want to use a computer, there's a pencil that's always sitting right at the counter with this, so you can sign in to use the computer. 99.899% of the time, there's a pencil there. One of the last times I was there, it wasn't there, so I asked him if I could use the pencil, which was right next to him, right in front of him actually, and he sits right next to the login sheet. So I go, can I use that pencil? He goes, well, go to those pencils right there on the counter. He goes, you're always causing a problem. Now this is gaslighting, and I'm going to tell you why it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting because every single time I go in there, I don't do anything wrong whatsoever. I completely mind my own business. I am harassed in there in the same exact identical way that I was harassed all over UCSD campus, and at Ross Grocery Store off of La Jolla Village Square Drive, and at the North University San Diego Public Library. That's right, 1,000 audio files don't lie. But the reason why he said that is to make you think that you're the problem, so your brain is taking in this mental rape in reference to the truth of the matter concerning that. You know you don't do nothing wrong. You know you're subjected to a crime in there, but he's telling you that you're always the problem. And this is what you call menticide. It's an intentional thing that's being said, in order to make you feel mentally raped about the truth of the matters pertaining to that specific environment. And that's why they call it gaslighting, because it's their way, because they know whenever you're accused of something, okay, whether you already know the truth or not, the brain's defense mechanisms kick in to defend itself in reference to what it's being accused of. You're always the problem. You're always causing a problem. The brain instinctively kicks the defense mechanisms, the defense mechanisms in order to protect its psychic integrity pertaining to the truth of the matter. And it's their way to excite the mental responses of the memories of the past abuse that you have experienced in there, because the brain has to process the truth in order for the brain to resolve that it's not the problem. Now, these are the actual psychological schemes of gang stalking. It's their way to excite the defense mechanisms to wear it down and to cause the target individual to relive all the past experiences in order for the brain to defend itself concerning the truth of the matter. In other words, whenever you're accused of something, you backtrack and you say, well, I didn't do this because this is what really happened. Okay? Like if somebody's saying that you did something and at this given moment in time, like if an event transpires and you know that you did nothing in the event, you're going to sit back and say, okay, well, this is how it started, this is what happened in between, and this is what happened as a result. Okay, it's how you defend yourself. Well, what they do is that they abuse you through these non-stop repeating these vile words and phrases, okay, and then we'll turn around and say that you are nothing but a problem, because they know. See, this asshole is just coached about what to say, but the people who coach him, that tell him what to say, know that the brain will automatically, distinctively go into the defense mode and then re-go over anything that the target's ever done in order to make sure that what they're being accused of are facts or not. And it's their way to intentionally, mentally cause the target individual to relive what they've already experienced in that environment. In other words, they know that the brain will instinctively review the situation concerning this environment. As a result of the review, the target individual is made to remember the facts of what they've really literally experienced in this place, which has been nothing but abuse. So it's their way to intentionally excite the brain to stimulate the memories of the abuse, because they know that the brain innately will kick in the defense mechanisms when they're accused of something. And these are the little sophisticated schemes of gang stalking. And the reason why I made this video is to inform you about it, especially to fellow target individuals, because I already know they're experiencing it too. The fact of the matter is that what I am doing is showing you the clever mechanisms of how these little slimy, filthy, right-ass animal whores, well, think about it this way. I'm going to play you an audio file right now. This is an event of me being on a sidewalk on Gilman Road in 2013 on Thanksgiving Day. I want you to listen to this. Why are these two men saying gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, and then another one says gang stalking, I'm going to F you up? Because they wanted the threat. They wanted the threat to be directly connected to gang stalking, anchored in my mind. Alright, now this is actually me being on a bus in Yucca Valley, California. This is a separate one. But I want you to listen to how these people are saying gang stalk. Then a woman just flat out says gang stalking. And then you notice how a guy says rape. A woman says rape me. Listen. Now, why would another woman say, when another person says rape me? Because they want the brain to absorb this vile shit. I'm going to play it again. Listen. And you notice how when they say gang stalk, when the woman says gang stalking and then another one says she never cries, is because when you're being victimized like this, saying gang stalking is their way to stimulate a mental response as a result of you hearing it, because you know that it's intentionally being done because of gang stalking. So that would make you feel sad and depressed. They don't want you to experience any emotions that are healthy, and so the other one said she never cries. It's programming. It's dark neurolinguistic programming. So Google that description to gang stalking. This is the sophisticated psychological operations of gang stalking. This is the event that took place on Gilman Road on Thanksgiving Day 2013. Now what you just heard happened in Yucca Valley, 160 miles away from La Jolla, where this event occurred. Now the Yucca Valley event occurred 11 months before this. See, what you just heard occurred on December 11, 2012 in Yucca Valley. I live in La Jolla. I left La Jolla to go to Yucca Valley. Let me check the minutes on this. I left La Jolla to go to Yucca Valley for 1 week to go out there to see another targeted individual. It didn't work out, so I came back. The same exact identical verbal harassment that I've experienced in the law library at UCSD and along all my routes to the North University San Diego Public Library, including by their filthy employees. And you know, let me tell you another thing about their little skanky asses. They work for the city and the county. So do you really think that this vile shit that's being said around me by them and other individuals that they bring into the library, do you think they're ever going to admit it? Absolutely not. They'll call me crazy concerning it, okay, and even attempt to throw a targeted individual in a psychiatric detention so they can be further abused. And I strongly suggest you go to Google and type in psychiatric floors in gang stalking, psychiatrist in gang stalking, psychologist in gang stalking, doctors in gang stalking, police in gang stalking, libraries in gang stalking, universities in gang stalking, grocery stores and businesses in gang stalking, and look at what comes up. Then cross-reference to the fact that gang stalking does engage in sensitization methods of repeating words and phrases and physical gestures. Cross-reference what comes up, synthesize it all together, and you see absolutely that I'm telling you the truth. I just played you truth. Now, what you just heard occurred on December 11, 2012 in Yucca Valley. I left La Jolla, okay, to go to Yucca Valley for 1 week, okay? Now, the same exact identical verbal harassment that's been caught happening all over San Diego County, and absolutely including in La Jolla, was caught all over the place in Yucca Valley, 169 miles away from San Diego County. Now, what you're about ready to hear occurred 11 months later in La Jolla and Gilman Road. Do you hear these two men say gang stalk together? Then one says gang stalking, and then the same one says gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. And this is only a 15-second segment of that event. Other things that were said as these men were initiating their harassment and afterwards, like oh my god. Well, oh my god and gang stalk has been caught on hundreds of audio files happening around me practically every single time I went to the law library and UCSD and Ross Grocery Store, the North University San Diego Public Library, bus routes, bus stops, everywhere. Movie theaters, restaurants. Listen to these wild animals. It's going to take a second for it to boot up. see in gang stalking. Has gang stalk sucked my dick, okay, been said around me at all, ever, inside of any courtroom in San Diego courthouse? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. You know, I'm going to tell you something right now, fellow American citizens. This is nothing but organized crime in the system. And this is the little shit that I got to endure along my routes every single day, everywhere I go. Golden Spoon employees, which is a little ice cream yogurt place right inside a Ross grocery store off of La Jolla Villa Square Drive. Starbucks employees, which is in the same exact Rouse, and Rouse employees, management employees, and deli employees, and people coming in acting as customers, including people sitting around me as I'm using the tables within that Rouse, are doing the same exact thing. Gang stalking, suck my dick, oh my god, weird, crazy, laughing about it as it's occurring as well. I'm not holding anything back concerning these truths. So, if you ever see me in Rouse, or at the North University San Diego Public Library, or in the Law Library downtown on Front Street, okay, or along or at restaurants, movie theaters, bus stops, know that this is going on around me, and that's not including the dickheads, excuse me, sorry, that's not including the jerks that they're putting along my route to do this, and point their finger, okay, or hold their finger to their mouth, okay, and all the other stupid-ass physical gestures that they sensitize targets to. It's their way to intentionally, mentally remind you that you're being gang stalked, and you feel threatened because of it, because for one, some of the type of people that they use, and for two, because they gotta know where you're at in real time at all times to do this. So in closing, go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? That blog has been hacked into by the perpetrators. Okay, but there's a massive amount of evidence in it. Do it, go to it, and read the entire thing. Do it. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Hold on. If I am arrested for illegal lodging, ticketed, if I am put in jail on October 22nd or any other date pertaining to the original ticket from Rose Canyon on 8/9/2015 for illegal lodging, it will be directly connected to gang stalking. And if I am put in jail, and if I'm assaulted, raped, robbed of any of my money, my IDs, my food stamp card, my bus pass, my phones, my cameras, my evidence, anything that I use to sustain me, and anything that has to do with evidence, it will be directly connected to organized stalking, because all you have to do is go to Google and type in jails and gang stalking, detention centers and gang stalking, prisons and gang stalking. It's organized crime in the system. Do you really believe that one or two flat-foot cops that might be involved in crime had the capacity to literally get all these different places, including jails, prisons, and detention centers, to engage in gang stalking? So, San Diego Sheriff's Department officers inside the Santa Fe Detention Center gang stalked the shit out of me when they put me in there on November 13th. When they put me in there on November 10th, 2013, as a result of them coming to my hiking area using UCSD police and SDPD. I was gang stalked like you would not believe in there. And I was assaulted inside the San Diego courthouse on the 13th when they took me to the courthouse for the arraignment, and then criminally railroaded out of my transport trial by the San Diego Public Defender's Office, and they're the ones who are my legal advocates right now pertaining to the ticket I got in Rose Canyon on 8/9/2015. So do the math. They're going to screw me. And I could lose my Social Security benefits and my Social Services benefits if they put me in jail for more than 30 days. So I'm predicting it all right now. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. Let's see if this video is erased before it can be uploaded. That's why I'm taping my verbal statements on this tape recorder. And yes, I did have to start talking fast because I'm almost out of video time. So I do apologize for that. Make no mistake about it. Everything that I described in this video are factual realities concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Every single syllable that came out of my mouth in this video is the absolute literal truth. And the courts, the public defender, the prosecutor's office, the police, they'll all call me crazy concerning it in order to protect their criminal asses, to protect the places that it's happened at, so they can never be sued and held legally accountable, including monetarily. Because at the end of the day, it's all about money. That's right. I'm in San Diego. The homelessness that I'm experiencing right now was literally created because of gang stalking. So Google how they make targets of gang stalking homeless. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and I suggest you go to that blog because you will hear me exposing what's happening to me on national radio shows. Those links are in the blog. I do appreciate you listening, and I apologize I had to start talking so fast, but I'm running out of video time, and I gotta go. This is what's currently happening to me in San Diego, so please say a prayer for my safety. And by the way, I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a good day.